Here's how to fan a deck of cards. The first thing you'll want to do is use a slightly newer deck, especially when learning. You don't want your environment to be too hot either. This just goes in general for using cards, as it can make them clump up and not fan as nicely. So especially as you're learning in the beginning, it helps to set yourself up for success. Slightly newer cards, clean hands, dry hands, and a cooler environment will help. The thumb fan involves holding the deck like this in your dominant hand. So my index finger is curled underneath, and it's more toward the upper sides of the cards, as you can see, where I have my thumb and my other three fingers on the sides. This puts you in position for that motion. Do note I'm left-handed, so you might have to mirror this for you right-handed folks. But your subordinate hand, so in my case, my right hand comes over, and we're going to contact these fingers, the index, middle, and then your thumb is going to come around. So it's almost like you're going to pinch it in this way. This is just leaving room for the cards to, of course, come around into that semicircle and be held in the hand. So you come in and you're going to grip. Now there is a bit of a tightness here, and it's going to take some experimentation to get that pressure right. But you can see that when the fan is done, the thumb is going to be here, and my index and middle are basically holding the entirety of the deck, and these are just kind of resting comfortably here. So this is the pressure point. This is the goal of where you're trying to get to. So the motion that gets you into that position, I'm coming over to the side, so I'm not perfectly straight here. I'm coming over more to the side, and my middle and index of my subordinate hand are contacting the corner here. So for me, it's the indexed corner. If you're a right-handed person, it's going to be on this corner of your left hand. So the index is definitely supportive in the pressure, but that middle finger is kind of the exact spot that I'm putting here. So you might feel it on the tip. In this case, I kind of am feeling it on the knuckle, like right under the knuckle is kind of where that pressure point is. So with this grip here, coming down to this pressure point here, you grip it and you're tight. You're tight here, the thumb's on the bottom edge. That's what's going to get you in a position to fan it. And then it's actually impossible for me to do it too slow, because then the cards won't necessarily separate right, but you're going to come around and it's just going to create this semicircle because of the pressure points you've created. And again, your clues are the thumb will end on this corner here, and you're still in this position here. So when it comes to distributing the cards evenly, you need pressure from your thumb as well, because if I don't put any pressure on it, it only will fan out some of the top cards because I'm not pushing in. So by pushing in, applying pressure, you get a more even fan of the cards. So that's making the fan happen. You're going to apply all those different pressure points, your pressure point here, here with the middle and index, and then holding down with the thumb, and you get a pretty good fan. So that's how you get into the fan. Now, as far as closing the fan, let's talk about that. So when you're here, what you're going to do is you're going to come over with your index, because now it's just pinched between the thumb and middle, and you're going to shoot the index forward, and you're going to contact that card, and it's going to pivot around the middle. And it's hard to do slow, but in motion, you get that momentum where it'll close all the way. Then the rest of your fingers can come out, and you can regrip it in a more dealer's grip. Shout out to the Virts for their teaching on it. One thing from the Virts that was helpful is that if you're kind of disappointed in how your fan looks, just shooting it even more to the side as much as you can might help you even more. And this deck isn't completely new, so if you want just like a beautiful, amazing fan, get out a fresh pack and you can really get some good looking fan motions. Another way you might want to do it is with your index finger. And I think kind of back in the mid to late aughts, I saw a lot more magicians doing this, the index fan. But I feel like this looks classier to people. At least it does to me. But it's a matter of preference. You're just applying pressure in the same way, just with your index finger. And it does sort of more naturally flow from a biddle grip. If you're used to holding, you have your dealer's grip here. You come over, this is called a biddle grip with your dominant hand. You put your index finger on the sides, and it can come around like that. Now, if you are a magician and you want people to pick a card from this, it can actually be very difficult, and you'll probably end up dropping the cards. So you can try it if you want, but that's maybe not the use case for this. It's just a beautiful way to display cards. And then again, for you righties, you can actually display, that all the cards are different. If you do a fan in this hand, you can actually show the indexes of the cards. That's the number, and then we call this the pip. you can display all of those in that way. So if you get into this position where you're noticing like one card jut out more than the others, or if they start to clump, of course, I did already talk about the heat factor, so you might just need to let your cards rest for a while and also get them into a cooler environment. But I've been recording with these today, and so they're clumping a little more than these, which I more recently got out. But something else that might have happened to it is the oils of your hand. So as you squeeze a card, you know, like if I were to just sit here for a while, the oils of my hand will get on that. And then if I were to cut it in the middle, what it would look like is actually, I think we kind of achieved it there. So there might be some extra oil on this card and some extra oil on this card. As far as fixing that, I just kind of like to shuffle the deck some and try to air them out a little bit. There's not really a magic fix I have found for it, but you can kind of try to administer some first aid to it in that way. Ironically enough, at that point, you might experience that more glaringly with a newer deck. Like if you get a fresh pack out and you're fanning it and it looks beautiful, and then you cut the deck and you have that break in the fan from the oils of your finger, just keep handling the cards. They'll all accumulate, you know, some oils. Cards are meant to be used, and then it strangely evens back out again, and you can continue to get good fans, but they won't be as perfect, and that's okay. That's totally going to be fine. Let me know if you have any other tips and tricks you would recommend so that others can see it in the comments. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Follow for more magic if you like content like this. If you want to dive deeper, I have a free Patreon blog, and we also have magic merch that you can pick up if you'd like to support me in that way. If you like this video, you might enjoy the video on Gambit's card moves, where we teach you how to do card moves like Gambit, or my simple video on how to open a deck of cards properly. And there's more to that than you may expect. But until next time, keep enjoying your magic, stay a hobbyist at heart, be kind to yourself and others, and I will see you guys in the next video.